Good evening, Isaac.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good, good, good. I see you came dressed for the occasion.
I yeah, I'm feeling a little skeletal today. Yourself?
Nice, nice. I brushed my hair for this occasion.
I noticed your complexion's looking good though.
Low light, low light. So
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe either. Let's take these off. Oh,
Oh,
I
well,
think I
those are
lost a piece of my earbud inside my ear.
those are not something I'd want to have to wear an entire show.
No, no. That's I'll just wear it for an hour
Yeah,
uh next week. So
yeah.
let's intro our guest, why don't we?
Yes,
So
sir. Let's
we've
do
got our Halloween spectacular.
it. Hey, there we go.
Joe, how are you doing?
I'm great, guys. Really happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, this is so Joe Stoken, you are with Trick or Treat Studios. How are you doing?
Doing terrific. Yeah, I mean, our Halloween game is just released, and we're just getting it into people's hands. And uh, our second big release in terms of licensed IP games after Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is really kind of what we really wanted to do, was bring some great games out from movies we love. And so this is a really exciting time.
Yeah, and just a heads up, you're going to see that game later in the show because it is real freaking good. So anyway, so let's talk about Halloween stuff. And so I've come with my Michael Myers mask. I've got my custom made Michael Myers cup.
Very nice.
Wearing my old school Halloween T-shirt. I feel like I'm prepared for this chat.
I think so.
Yeah. So let's get into our first question. I wrote the questions. I
know it. Do you want me to do it?
You do it.
Yeah. So our opening question is, what is your favorite classic movie monster and why?
Well, Isaac, when I hear the term classic movie monster, I immediately think of Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman. So for me, those are kind of the classics. But, I guess enough time has passed where Jason, Freddy, and Michael are probably considered classics too, right?
That's fair. We're plenty of years away, removed from their initial movies.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was. I mean, I love the look of the creature from the Black Lagoon, right? I mean, he was just so alien. And when you think about it, if UFOs are real, and those monsters inside of them are truly aliens, but they probably live under the water. There's probably not breaking the speed of light for travel. They probably just hide in their cities under right?
I can see that.
I think the water is probably the freakiest thing. So it's funny, my oldest daughter, she came to us a couple years ago and she said, I found the disorder that I have. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was a teenager at this point, and she said, I have, let me find the disorder real quick. Sorry, you talk for a second, Isaac, because this is a real thing apparently.
First off, welcome to the show, and second off, go Birds down there. I see that hat.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm a big Lions fan, but I'm a big I love to cheer for the Eagles. Bob over at One Board Family is a huge Eagles fan.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to meet Bob.
And PAX U is my favorite convention. And
it's a cool city, right?
I love it.
Yeah,
such a fun city.
Okay, so the phobia is submechanophobia. Okay. Submechanophobia. Any ideas of what that is?
Submarines.
No. underwater animatronics.
Yeah, that's very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. My oldest daughter has a serious fear of underwater animatronics.
No Captain Nemo ride for her.
Back in the day.
Chance.
So I guess to answer the question, and these kind of questions are tough because favorites are so absolute. But if you conclude Godzilla as a classic movie monster, I mean, it would definitely be him, hands down. I never really saw him as a villain, but it's like, hey, you dump your toxic waste into my crib, I'm going to come stomp you, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
He's just doing what he's got to do. He's doing what a monster does. I would have to say Frankenstein, my just finished Frankenstein poster from Mondo is hanging on my wall now. I finished it last night. Over 250 jet black pieces that have no pattern or any way to recognize them.
Is
it's
that
super fun.
1,000 pieces?
A 1,000-piece puzzle. Yeah, it is. So I would go Frankenstein, but I see that somebody else is going to say Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster. So I'm going to go with Dracula. I remember dressing up as Dracula as a kid multiple times. As a kid, just the black cape, the mystery, like jumping in and out of things. Like it was just a cool character. So
I saw something that said those that know classic movies know that it's not Frankenstein or it's Frankenstein's monster, but those that really know the story know that Dr. Frankenstein is the monster.
He was horrible.
So I like that. I love the story. I love both ends. But yeah, Frankenstein is just a classic archetype for for that monster without control. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Puzzles.
That is really cool.
That's a good compliment to the one you got up there.
So also I don't know how the corporate thing. Oh, that's awesome.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Love it.
Those are nice. So I don't know how the corporate like structure works or anything, but you guys actually have a I think it was 2 years ago or last year, you guys had a Boris Karloff Frankenstein mask that you guys debuted.
Yeah, so we're 13 years old and we've got over 1,200 products.
Yeah.
We've only just started shipping games last April. And so it's a new business division for us, but we're growing well, and my particular and specific responsibilities are to the game side of the company.
Yeah, well, we're excited you guys are in gaming because more horror games equal more fun on the table. So, so talking about board games, what is one of the most tense or scary experiences that you had playing a board game?
Well, I can think of several, but most recently is probably a session we were playing of Shadows of Brimstone. Okay. I'm not sure how familiar you are with that game, but we were deep into this underground scenario. And most of us were sporting wounds, both wounds and sanity damage. And we kept getting new encounter cards. And soon every available space was filled with monsters. In fact, we had so many summoned and demons had come that you didn't have enough minis. And that game comes with tons of minis, right?
Yeah.
We had to use dice and such. We had
this piece of popcorn is a monster.
Yeah, you do what you could do is got to suspend disbelief a little bit. Right. But some well-placed grenades kind of got us some breathing room for a while. But
nice.
Yeah, that game's lethal, and even their in-town game encounters can kill you in a hurry.
Nice. I would say we played last year, I think, or the year before. We played a lot of the thing, Infection and Outpost 31. Mm-hmm. That game, there's attention to the game as you are getting further into the game, and there's the possibility of multiple infections happening at the table. So you're not 100% sure who is still on your side, who is still human, and who is an alien. And that game, there's some real tension in that game. And I remember a session a couple months ago, about 2 years ago, where the tension building up to that helicopter ride was insane. And we got it completely wrong. And so the one person that we were like, there's no chance that this person could be. And the funniest part about it was that person actually had gotten 2 infection cards during the redistribution, and he was the only alien at the table. So,
oh man, that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I watched that about 20 times in 1986, and still couldn't definitively tell you who was infected at the end there. Probably
nice.
Speaking of the 1980s, Justin's got a
Justin Gibbons. I remember playing that old VHS game Nightmare. I had that one. Later in the game, every time that Gravekeeper guy would appear on the TV and would jump scare everyone. Yes, the thing that still sticks in my mind is that guy calling people maggots. That was oh man, that term as a kid, somebody calling you a maggot. I'm like, whoa.
Must have been a sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the games that get me with as far as like that tension and suspense or hidden movement games, whether you're the hider or you're the searcher. So like Fury of Dracula, but honestly, my favorite Fury of Dracula could have been on this list too. I didn't even think about. But my favorite hidden movement game, I had to jump it out, is by my man Emerson as Spectre Ops. Like I love it, and every time I play that, it feels tense. And there's this avenue of like, oh man, am I gonna make it? I can sprint, but is this the turn they're gonna see me in the hallway? And like, I love it. It's one of my favorite hidden movements.
That's definitely the game that brought us to Emerson. You know, he did an article, a design article for GTM magazine. I'm sure it'll be up online soon, where he described the iterations of the game before the final version was approved, and it's a pretty interesting article. But awesome. We knew he was the guy for this. So
I awesome. just published my Halloween review today, and the line of sight mechanic is the thing that makes this game so incredibly tense that you're like, what direction should I point my character, and what is the right decision, and what is the Michael Myers player character thinking? You know.
Yep.
So. What the next question we've got, what do you do to set the mood when hosting a Halloween game night?
Well, that one gave me some cause because I've never hosted a Halloween game night, but we do some things regularly to kind of set the mood, and the first one is definitely music. And that's tough because you want anything that has too many vocals, and you don't want a speaker right next to the table because then it's kind of obtrusive. So you got to choose some nice instrumental stuff, and you kind of want to have the speaker kind of in an adjacent room there.
That's correct. That's a good idea.
So we do that a lot. I think that you can't just get it dark because you can't read the cards. You can't see anything.
Pitch black.
Yeah, but you can put the lights out in the other rooms, so that noises come from out of this house. You don't know what they are, and even a running toilet or something could kind of create some tension, right?
Yeah. And that's what you need to do. Get all the family members in your house to start making noise in different rooms at different points. So that will really set the mood. Yeah, absolutely. I bought my wife for her birthday this past year. She wanted some speakers that could sync, like two nice speakers that could sync Bluetooth. And so that I found some at Sam's that were really nice. And the two speakers have a lot of bass on them. You can set them up in two different spaces, and they sync together so you can create that atmosphere. And so we've actually used that for this will be our first Halloween game night with those speakers. But setting a speaker up in the corner of the room and then setting one in another room and just having that, so good. And then of course, thematic snacks. I'm big about like doing weird things like making little spiders out of things and doing peanut brittle that has like blood on it and stuff. So
you're all in.
I'm all in. I made it,
and make your guests bring stuff too. It's not all on you as host. Get some help. I'm sorry, we've got over 1,200 products, so it might, if you give me long enough, I might talk about all of them. But we've even got spooky scented candles. So.
Really? Awesome. I didn't know about that line.
Yeah, this is one of the minis for the upcoming optional set for the Halloween game. As you can see, it's got a little notch on it to reinforce the line of sight.
Yep, line of sight. Yes,
love it.
Oh. So excited about those minis.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all the same stuff you guys were talking about. It's the right decoration, it's the right music, it's the right food. The music, I love. Like, I I need music playing while I'm playing games.
Yeah.
Like something. It doesn't have to be blaring in your face, but I want something in the background, especially as we play a lot of heavier Euros, a lot of thinking time. I don't like that like pure silence. So we usually have something light, something airy. And this time of year, why not a Halloween mix, regardless of the games you're playing?
That's right.
Yeah, so I play with my president Chris, and he gets a lot of his Halloween music directly from Rob Zombie, and he's got just dozens and dozens of hours of Halloween music.
That's crazy.
And we start playing it right after 4th of July because it's the next holiday.
Yeah,
so
it's valid. I've told Isaac that September 1st is the start of Halloween, man.
Yeah, we were talking about that in August. You were trying to decide.
Yeah, I was trying to make a case for setting out decorations like middle of August. So anyway,
that's fair.
So on to talking about a specific game, the Horrified series. We've got movie monsters, we've got American monsters, and then now we have the Greek monsters right here. And so out of the Horrified series, I know not everybody's a co-op fan, but this series is done very well for itself. Which of the three is your favorite?
Well, I have to admit, I've not yet played the Greek one. I've not played the new one. Out of the two, I think that I probably like the original movie monsters a bit more than the American monsters. But that might be just because I played it more. I mean, I know they play similarly, but that's the thing with games, right? I mean, most likely you're never going to love a game on your very first try of it.
Yeah,
you're kind of still figuring out what the game is about and what you can do, what kind of agency you have. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about the Greek version, how it might be different.
Yeah, the Greek version, I think what's cool about the Greek version is that it introduces it's close to, I mean, all three of them are very similar. I would say for my answer to the question, I would go with the American Monsters one. Even though it's not as good of a game as the original, I like the setting of the woods and there being this folklore element to it. Nice. That's the thing that pulls me in that direction, even though the original is the better game. The Greek version actually has these all the puzzles are unique. They all feel really good, but there's these three different what are they called? Mazes or something like that. There's three different challenges that have to be met, but they're kind of mixed up on the board. And like if you went up against Medusa, that's not one of them. Anyway, one of the creatures will make you have to go through that challenge that's on the board. But first you have to find the right challenge that matches. So there's a little bit of a finding the right challenge and then defeating it.
I might have to check that one out. I was a huge Greek mythology head when I was young.
Yeah, that's the one that I connect the least with, because Universal Movie Monsters is like, I've got posters of the original movie monsters, but Greek mythology is my least favorite of the three. But the game plays really well.
It's fair. So. I have not played any of them, so
all right.
That's why you're a terrible person.
You could teach me these games. You don't teach me any games.
You're still not a Cowboys fan.
Oh my gosh, no, not even close, sir.
That's hilarious. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, ones I'd be interested to try. I just never have had an opportunity to play them.
That's right. So trick-or-treaters are stopping by your house in a week. What is one candy that they would find at your house, and what is one candy that they would never find at your house?
So I like to give out the lollipops, especially those blow pops that have the gum in the middle.
Absolutely. Yep. Blow pops are awesome.
And that's because, if there's some left over, I'm not going to binge eat those. It takes a long time.
Yeah,
and,
that's a good point.
You're giving out a lot of enjoyment in terms of time to consume the whole thing.
That's true.
If I went Reese's peanut butter cups or something, I would eat the whole bag before I went to bed. So
yeah,
you can't do something you like too much. But I absolutely, this is very strong the way I feel about this. I hope I don't offend anyone, but my personal opinion is that candy corn is meant to be seen and not eaten.
Candy corn is hot trash.
It's not great.
Hot trash. And listen, anybody who says differently in the comments is getting banned from whatever channel you're on. So Snickers Big fan of Snickers. Big fan of Butterfingers. Those are going to be in the basket at our house. But the one thing you'll never see is Tootsie Rolls because they suck. Tootsie Rolls are garbage candy.
Tootsie Roll Pops are good. I like a
Tootsie Pops are fine.
The sucker.
Yeah, it's the sucker.
Combo. Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoy the sucker. And
I like the combo.
Oh,
like I guess there's a Tootsie Roll here. Yeah, I can eat that.
The funny thing is Tootsie Rolls tasted great when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you didn't know better. You hadn't had real chocolate. So
that's very true.
It's trash chocolate. It's like, hey, what's that runoff happening? Oh, let's make those into Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, I don't love Tootsie Rolls. I'm right there with you, but even more don't love is Almond Joy. Not a fan.
Almond Joy is so good.
I just don't like coconut at all. So those are the bottom of the. None of the kids like it. My wife doesn't like it. I don't like it. So they were the candies that were still around months later that nobody's eaten, and we're like, let's put that in an Easter egg for Easter.
Ship them to Ryan. I'll give you my address.
I'm right there with you, man. Coconut is going to ruin it. It's like having too much onion on your sandwich, and then all you taste is onion.
Yeah.
What is happening? This entire talk has devolved into all the things that I love that you guys hate.
But the thing I love and the thing I want, and I yes, if I have too many Reese's peanut butter cups left, I'm gonna eat them all. Yeah. But I try to get enough. I try to pass them out, and by the end of the night, I'm like, just take 3, 4. Leave me a couple. I'm gonna eat a couple while I pass them out.
You need a couple.
But that's when I want to hand out. That's when I actually enjoy giving out. We have a question of the day trivia thing on our wall. I put it up every day at work for patients, and they like kind of answering questions while they're there. And today's was about candy corn, and the question was, what was the original name of candy corn? And a couple people actually knew it because it wasn't
peanuts.
Not packing peanuts. Yeah, it's chicken feed.
Okay.
That's what it was. That was marketed as. So
okay. Kelly says,
I saw this one today, which you probably can't read it, but it says how to eat a candy corn. 1, open the bag.
Yep.
2, pour candy corn into the trash can. 3, eat a Reese's peanut butter cup.
There we go. Perfect. That is just the right way. Kelly says, always hand out Heath bars. Will never have Baby Ruth.
Heath bars are great, Kelly.
Yeah, they are.
Really good.
So I will tell you, Kelly's in agreement. No coconut. What is wrong with you people? So I will tell you something. The toffee, what is it? Toffee Oreos. There's too much toffee. I mean, Heath bars, perfect amount. The toffee Oreos, too much.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So
you can leave the next 2 comments off. That's fine.
Okay. I won't show them. I'll just read them. Hank says candy corn is the Detroit Lions of candy.
Detroit Lions are 5-2. Thank you.
Almost as awful as Isaac.
Yep. Thank you, Derek.
So's Miami, and they haven't beat a team with more than 2 wins.
That's true. Lions have, but Miami's not looking pretty. But you missed sports chat by 2 weeks.
4 weeks ago. Come on.
You just missed sports.
Come on, guys. Your sports are getting into my Halloween.
We had Derek on. He was he was sports adjacent, so we put him on.
Joe, let's chat about what you do for Trick or Treat Studios. Give us a little. I know Trick or Treat Studios because I've ordered masks from you guys. I've ordered Halloween stuff from you guys.
Candles.
I didn't know about the candles. Now I'm going to go shopping tonight. But what is Trick or Treat Studios, and what do you do for them?
So Trick or Treat Studios started 13 years ago as a full latex mask company. And Chris Zeffro started Trick or Treat Studios just because he saw that there was a gap in the market for masks. You could buy a really crappy mask for $20, $30, or you would need to spend well over $100 to get a really nice mask. So he's like, I want to make good quality masks that cost $60, $70.
Yeah.
And so the way that he called up all of his people that he knew from collecting masks, all of his favorite sculptors, and asked, hey, do you have any original sculpts you want to do? And to his shock and amazement, they all said yes. And so they started, making masks, and they're really good quality, made in the factory in Mexico. And, pretty soon, got to get licenses for the masks, and we kept expanding our licenses. Of course, Michael has been one of our big ones through the years. Probably we would be doing more in other franchises such as Friday the 13th and such, but both the Jason and Freddy licenses are tied up in lawsuits right now, so it is what it is. And so then eventually we got into expanding into props and costumes, and then into collectibles such as action figures and dolls and just tons of other stuff. And so here we are. We've always been a gamer. I've been in a gaming group with our president Chris since 2000, and we were playing 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons back then. And Luke Gygax was in our group.
Oh wow!
And the other guy owned like 5 game stores, and the president of the Hot Wheels fan club at the time was in this group.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. But then we started having kids, and so we couldn't keep a campaign going with everyone attending every week.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we switched to board games. And now Chris has got one of the largest personal game collections I've ever seen. He keeps it in our warehouses.
Nice.
2,500 games is just amazingly sickening. And so he had to start a gaming company because his accountant told him that he couldn't keep writing off purchases anymore. So we went about that the exact same way. I wasn't on board yet, but Chris called up all of his favorite game designers, and he called up Emerson Matsuuchi. He called Richard Garfield. He, sent an email to Richard Lanius. He reached out to Bruno Feduti, and they all said yes. And so we started, making some unlicensed games, because you need to prove that, you're a manufacturer in a particular category before the licensor will give you a license to produce games in that category. So, we did that, worked with Reiner Knizia and others. And now our licensed games are here, and they're really proven to be a hit. Our whole design philosophy for the licensed games in particular is to make games that are true to the source material, and that are not so complex or weighty that fans of the franchise would be disenfranchised by it. So, something they can learn to pick up. So we're definitely targeting 2 to 2.5 on the complexity scale for these games. Very important for us, though, not to just have some cookie cutter game we're putting on top of the same game on the same IP. IP. We really want to make each game as true to the source material as possible, but make it its own compelling experience. And that's the approach we're taking to work with our designers for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So you kind of gave us some insight into your background in playing games, and like how you've always been a gamer. So how long have you been in this role, and what are some things that I know that you've been to a couple conventions at this point.
So I've been in this role for over 2 years. We go to all the major trade shows, including the business to business shows, like Gamma and things like that. And so it's been my personal responsibility to build out our distribution network and to work with localization partners and stuff like that. I communicate upward to the rest of the company what's happening, and I manage the other game employees, and will interface with a lot of the talent we hire for art and for design, and a lot of other stuff. Trade show planning keeps me busy, but that's the most fun. Get out there amongst the fans and do the demos and see what they think of the games, and that's really, really super cool. And now that these licensed games are coming, we're just having so much fun, and we've got more on the way. I think that Ryan was showing our website, so you saw some of the stuff we've got upcoming that we're showing to pre-order on there.
Yeah, you guys announced Chucky while you were at Essen, right?
Yeah, a little before that, but it was, it's great because Banana Chan and a couple co-conspirators of hers, and she wrote this narrative-based kind of game where there's so when you play, there's really 2 phases to each person's turn. There's an investigative phase, and then a conflict phase. And you will score victory points based on how you do in each of those phases. And so it's a competitive victory point game.
Nice.
but it's got a lot of narrative storytelling. It's this one, as opposed to the Halloween game, which is really supremely focused on the setting for the first movie. This one kind of takes elements from multiple movies.
Okay, yeah. You've got a lot of material for Chucky now with 3 seasons of the series. You've got so many movies and so many offshoots. I mean, it's a well.
Yeah, chances are, if you've seen like the full size Chucky doll, is probably one of ours. When we kickstarted those, and those like $2 million, just these huge $400 Chucky dolls are just amazing.
That's wild.
And then coming also will be our Universal Monsters Unchained, officially licensed Universal Studios game. And this one is another one. We went right after a designer of a game we thought that might be similar. So we talked to David Gregg, who did Nightfall, who had put this twist into his deck building game with different chaining mechanism that we really thought was clever. And so that has been integrated into this version of the game, and that's going to be coming up, available in the next 2 months as well.
That's super cool. Yeah, the fact that you are working with Universal on that level, I'm super excited about that. You'll see it in a minute. One of your other games that has a similar theme. I'm so excited that there's going to be some really good Universal movie monster games coming out. So,
so those, we're really excited about those. I can tell you guys also that we are doing Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses.
Nice.
Really?
And that one is not up yet for pre-order. We're probably going to be kickstarting that one. Rob told us we can do it, but you have to play the part of the bad guys. So in this case, so you can play Captain Spaulding or Baby or Mama or something, and you have to go and capture the cheerleaders, keep them from escaping. It's just really super fun.
Okay. And are you expecting that to be kickstarted next year?
Possibly, yeah. I think we're talking about kickstarting that early next year, with maybe one before it. But when we've got a full slate of games, our schedule is just packed to the gills. We're doing another Knizia reskin. This one is based on one we did an earlier one, Nightmare Productions, which was based on Green.
He's got your candles up.
Oh, you go. Yeah,
I
mean. You got fear fresheners for your car.
Oh man! So just a heads up, all you candle heads out there. I know that's why you came to the show.
Oh,
that's 100%. That's that wick. That's that wick that crackles. That's that crackling wick, right?
That wooden wick.
Do you not know?
Adds to the experience, right?
So if that's that crackling wick, I'm about that life. I'm just saying. I know you guys don't know this side of me, but I'm super into knitting and I'm super into candles. So just a heads up.
Welcome to Candle Chat.
We got some hot takes. We got new games from Trick or Treat Studios, and we got weird personal facts about Ryan. That's what you came for.
Yeah, crackling wick. Welcome to the chat, Chad.
And we're not even talking about John Wick.
Not yet.
So this is City of the Living. And this will be coming early next year.
Okay.
And this is
Let me get that big screen right there.
Another Knizia reskin.
Ah.
And so you see, these guys are trying to build their fortifications to keep the zombies out. So the zombie apocalypse has happened, and you are trying to rebuild the society, which largely, you don't have electricity. Fuel is kind of the monetary unit that is traded around. You have to scavenge and find everything you need in order to build your compound to keep your people safe. This game was originally published by Reiner in 2013, I believe, as a game called Prosperity.
Ah, okay. I've heard of that one. I haven't played it, but
it's a super fun game.
Nice. Hank saying Ryan is an 80-year-old woman. Yep.
He probably puts those candles right by the bath, right?
Yeah, man. Dude, I can't fit in a bath. I'm 6'6", man.
And they have the soap you can add in.
Ain't no bathtub can fit me. So anyway,
Michael Myers soap.
That's sad. Michael Myers soap.
It's right there.
Oh, hold it. You have Michael Myers soap.
Yeah, it's right there too.
What the crap? I'm going Christmas shopping.
I forgot about our soaps. Yeah.
What?
We really are. We probably would never want to use that though, right? Because
that would. Oh man.
Just because you'd
the sculpted soap. Yeah, man, that's nice.
Bob the Ghost.
Bob the Ghost. Poor Bob.
We've got some interesting products, I will say.
I have not dug into that part of the website. looks like I need to make some Christmas lists after this, man.
So, if you're interested in hearing about anything else, we got a few more I can tell you about upcoming.
Hey, we will take all the information.
All right.
Go for it.
So
we're gonna stop showing soaps.
Yeah. So, did any of you guys like Arkham Horror?
I've never played it.
Never played it, but I'd be into trying it.
So we approached Richard Lanius and we asked if he could do a similar kind of cooperative adventure type game with different scenarios for us. And he has got this game that he's developed titled LA1, which is kind of set in a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles, where the rich live above the clouds with their android servants. And, it's kind of... it's definitely, a cyber noir Blade Runner-esque kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So, you play part of a detective agency. The mutants live in their warrens under the ground, and it's just going to be a huge game. It's got like 700 cards, and so this is definitely one we're going to be kickstarting. But we kind of, Richard had an opportunity to take some of the aspects that he didn't love about Arkham Horror and kind of work different conflict resolution engine into it. And so we're super, super excited about that one, as well as another deck building game that we're doing called Dark Pact. And this one is made by Tom Lehman, who you might know from Race for the Galaxy and Res.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I know the name, but okay, yep.
Yeah. And so those were very successful deck building games. This one has got 13 different win conditions based on the Dark Pacts that come out. And so you play as like a dark arts practitioner exploring the mysteries of the supernatural, can summon helpful demons, etc. And it's a blast to play. I don't know if you like deck builders, but at one point
I had
deck
builders.
25 cards in play out in front of me. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's really nice.
And I guess the last thing I would say about our upcoming schedules, we're not exclusively doing horror games.
Yeah.
We realize that, we love games that are not horror games as well, but we're doing a line of classic games that we are redoing with all new art and new content, making them true second edition games.
Okay.
The first of those is going to be Gold West. Gold West is all new arts by Vincent Dutrait, and it's got some of the expansions in the box and also a brand new optional water feature that was never in any of the other games. So
that's cool.
That's going to be attractive. We're doing some others, including Luna at the Gates of Loyang and Scoville second edition.
I am super excited. I didn't know that you guys were. I knew that Scoville was getting another edition. I didn't know who was doing it, and so that's super cool. Scoville is one of those games. I think I've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah,
Scoville is one of those games that I wanted very early on when it came out. Never got a hold of it. Never sat down to play it, but in my mind, I have this idea of like this perfect farming game that I would fall in love with. And so I have a romance with Scoville that is unfounded. But I want to play it so bad.
It's a lot of fun. And like any other games, it's so well balanced that you cannot do everything that you want to do on your turn.
Yeah.
That's great. It's a classic, one of my favorites. I'm glad it's getting life again.
Yeah. So, do you know a release window for that Scoville second edition?
Probably mid next year.
Okay.
Kickstarter?
I will look forward to it.
I don't think so. We will be doing some Kickstarters. We haven't yet for the games, but so we probably will be doing more of them just because it seems to be able to get us to a break-even point sooner than otherwise.
Yeah.
But
that's
for the
exciting.
most part, we're still going to be supporting our distributor channels, with some exceptions.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm really excited about that, and we've got another dozen projects that I can't mention right now. So
yeah.
Hey, we got lots of good stuff. So
yeah, this is super cool. And hey, anytime you want to come on the show, we're here. You can drop all those sweet bombs of wonderful games on this show.
Could even come on Ryan's podcast that he hasn't.
If
put
you
out
mention the podcast one more time, so I have one episode of the podcast that I haven't released, and I have two, but it's the one with Isaac because I'm just lazy.
Oh, I see. So he's like, "Come on, man!"
We recorded it 6 months ago.
He's brought this up 3 times now
in the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep going until.
I'm sure anyway, all the content is irrelevant by now, right?
Yeah.
We probably talk about Easter.
Yeah, it's probably
on the show. We're probably like, "You looking forward to Easter with the family?" I'm sure we did.
It's the new century. What do you think? That's how it starts.
Exactly. So
I just realized I was giving you guys the boring view of my office. I gotta show you what
that is a very different view.
Nice.
Well, we got all of our games, including
all the box covers,
the original promo prototypes for all of them.
That's cool.
A bunch of other crap, including
that's awesome. All the things,
including games I've got on my to play in the short-term list there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's very awesome.
Chad, thanks for tuning in for that. It's a special special title to this week's show. Ryan Soap. Welcome to Ryan Soap and Candle Extravaganza.
Hey, I'd start that podcast.
The Halloween version.
The Halloween
version. Yeah.
So actually, what we're actually moving to is my favorite part of our show is the Game Chat presents Pick 5. Pick 5 this week is going to be 5 games that you'll bring to a Halloween game night. Mm-hmm. And so, as we've said in the past, these are not the best 5 games. These are not the only 5 games, not even the top 5 games. These are just 5 games you would choose to bring to a game night around Halloween. Let's see what we got.
Yep.
All right. So
just one at a time.
First of all, just one at a time?
Yep, one at a time. We're going to go clockwise around.
Well, before I start my list, I will say I did change one of mine after I saw one I forgot about in your promotions graphics for this, but I'll tell you what that is when it comes up. First one on my list is Mansions of Madness. Which is it's a great game with the app on a tablet. It's really challenging, and you can kind of choose one scenario for how much time you have, and I really like that. Always have a lot of time playing that game, win or lose.
Nice.
Love it.
My first one's going to be Werewords. Werewords plays in 5 minutes. It is a lot of fun to play. The teenagers seem to love Werewords, and since I've got 3 of them, this one is an easy one to hit the table. Just about every time we have a big group of people, somebody says, "Hey, where's Werewords?" And so this is a must for Halloween game night.
And you say their words, right? I hope.
Their words.
I'm sure Ryan did not tell you that we usually show off the games. So
I did. I put it. Oh, did you? I did. I remember.
We usually forget. We usually forget to tell people. Mine's going to be from Keymaster Games, and that is Campy Creatures. Great bluffing, deduction. We've played this like half a dozen times in the last week. This is the time of year I get it out. I was recently thinking, like, man, to have like a Christmas or a Halloween game. Makes sense because people are bringing it out. I can't wait to play 12 days. I love 12 days, but I only play it around Christmas. But I play it every year around Christmas. So
you look forward to it.
It's got some.
The artwork is so fantastic in that game.
Yeah. Super good.
I tried to hire that guy for one of our upcoming projects. Unfortunately, he said he had no bandwidth and couldn't do it. But,
gotcha. Yeah. Good stuff.
Pick 2.
Right, pick 2, Dead of Winter.
Love Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter
is one of my top all-time games.
It's a constant parade of zombies.
Yes.
And the whole game, you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water until you aren't.
Yeah.
I just love that game.
As many times as we lose on that game, I love it every time. So.
Have I told my Dead of Winter story in here? Have we?
Yes.
That conversation?
Tell it again for Joe.
Real quick. I had a chance. John Gilmore's a local for us in this area, and we had a chance to meet up actually at Origins. He had the prototype. He had it all set up. He's like, "Let's meet. I'll teach a couple of your friends." And we go. We get playing. It's late at night, and 2 guys walk up and are like, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, it's Dead of Winter." "Oh, I've heard about it. I'm not that interested. It doesn't look that good." And John's just sitting there, just shaking his head, acknowledging. You can tell it's a prototype game. Like, it's not like it's a brand new game out, and my buddy Gene goes, well, this is the designer, and they flip right 180. Like, oh my gosh, we really, can we play it? So they sit down and play with us, and the one guy opens up a container of leftover Chinese, Japanese food noodles and starts eating it with his fingers while we're playing this prototype. I don't know if I told that part of the story before.
I've never heard that part.
Gene was mortified. He kicks me under the table. He points over, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so he's wiping his fingers in between turns and grabbing pieces. And
this is why I sleeve my cards, by the way.
There we go.
I mean, John was super nice about it. He didn't like say anything, but I just afterwards when I left, I'm like, dude, he's like, I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah, you gotta laminate everything.
Yep, so that's true.
My pick number 2, I thought along the lines of you're gonna have more than 4 people. So most of mine are more party-ish leaning. This is Monstrosity. This is the drawing game that people who hate to draw actually will draw. It's silly, it's fun. We brought it to a friend's house. We had 8 people playing it the other day. Had a blast with it, and everybody's creatures just look so weird and disturbing, even if they're stick creatures with big teeth. This is a fun game, and on top of that,
how old is that one?
This one's
18, 19. Yeah, it's who's the company? It's
Deepwater.
Yeah.
Deepwater Games, and they've got multiple expansions. A robots expansion and another expansion I can't read because I'm blind.
No, really enjoy that one.
There, right here. I feel you.
That is truly horrified situation. Noodles with fingers. Yeah. This is a fairly new release from our friends over at Lucky Duck Games, and that's Cosmoctopus. This is the story of trying to summon the octopi, the cosmic octopi. Henry Audubon did this one. It's fun. It's light. It's silly. The style is very similar, actually, to Campy Creatures in the artwork and some of the cards. And there's a co-op version you can play with a like a Cthulhu detective. It's a lot of fun. One that again fits the theme, fits this season.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to have fun. Right? Games are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to all be serious.
Yeah. Chad's got his list in no particular order: Mysterium, Fearsome Floors, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, Ghost Love Candy 2, and Horrified. If I'm going to play with gamers, then Nightfall would make the list for sure.
And Campy Creatures. Yep.
Mysterium seems to make its way on a lot of these lists.
Yeah. I actually, so hear me out. I really like Paranormal Detectives from Lucky Duck Games. It's a little strange. There are all these little things that you're using you're the ghost and you're trying to say how you died, and you're using rope, and you're making people write with their hand. It's really weird, but it's a lot of fun. So
cool.
Number 3.
So this is the one I switched out because I forgot about the Bloody Inn. And the Bloody Inn is so much fun.
Where's my copy? There it is.
No,
this game is
behind your microphone. There it is.
It's just crazy, right? I mean, you're just in this house and you're trying to compete who can kill the most influential dudes.
Yes.
But you gotta bury them before you get busted by the cops, which are there a lot. Yes. And there's never enough moves to bury your kills.
Never.
It's just completely insane, and I love the artwork.
Story of my life.
Yes. Yeah. So if you need some advice, hire Weberson Santiago for anything, and I'll buy it. So
right on.
If Weberson's doing it, it's getting my money.
You're a big fan of that one.
Love it. So Justin Gibbons' most overlooked Halloween game, City of Horror. I've never played a zombie survivor game that captures the social navigation mechanism as well as this game.
Interesting.
Very nice. I've not played City of Horror. I need to check that out now. Horrified, Dead of Winter, Abomination, Patchwork, Halloween, and Campy Creatures.
Patchwork Halloween.
Yeah.
Great.
So gonna go with Dracula's Feast. Not enough people know about this. This is a version that cannot be got anymore. This is an older version that has black and white artwork with some pops of red, really pops of color for the different creatures. Basically, people are asking different people at the table are asking other people to dance, and based on their decision making and what happens during the proposal to dance at Dracula's feast, you can find out who everyone is at the table. Once you know everybody at the table, or think you know, you can try to guess everybody's character, and if you're right, then you win. If you're wrong, you have to unmask yourself. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Not enough people talk about it.
Nice.
So.
I'm going with Devere, released from a few years ago, and that is Castle Party. This is a ballroom dance hosted by Mrs. Frankenstein and the Pumpkin King. It is a flip and write game. With one of my favorite things when somebody does any type of roll or flip or what have you is vinyl boards.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, it's a very tight little polyomino game with some card flipping to draw the shapes in. So great game. Devere cannot do wrong in my eyes.
Chad's having a crisis of identity here. Last Night on Earth was the game that really got me into the hobby, and the reason my initial game group got started so silly and fun. That's another one I would bring. Sorry, I can't choose 5. He just went back in the comments and said, "Oh snap, Bloody End, just played it a couple days ago." So he has no clue what's going on.
Yeah,
It's tough to make a list of only 5.
He's bringing 20.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some that have been big games that I just haven't got to try yet, like Abomination, Heir of Frankenstein, or My Father's Work, or Gollum.
My Father's Work is so good.
Yeah.
Skip Abomination.
Surprised you didn't put that one on.
Well, we're at a Halloween party.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah. All right.
Number 4,
Joe?
Number 4, Joe. What do you got?
Okay. So I mentioned this one earlier. Shadows of Brimstone. You don't not traditionally think Halloween, but it is really kind of a scary game with kind of weird supernatural elements to it. And it's got tons of cool minis and these really wonky rules. And yeah, again, like with Mansions of Madness, you can choose a scenario that kind of matches the time you have available for it. And I think that's the really cool modular nature of it.
Perfect.
I'm going for my number 4 pick is Creature Feature. This one plays up to 6, which is really cool.
Oh, that's nice.
This is a Trick or Treat Studios release, Richard Garfield. It's got a really cool bidding, like a bluffing mechanism, where you show one of the 2 creatures that are going out for the movie roles, and you're not sure what the other one is going to be. Each one, kind of like in Campy Creatures, they have different abilities and stuff. So you've got some different scoring mechanics and things like that. And you can bluff your way into a victory by kind of forcing people to say, you know what, I don't think I have a strong enough stable of characters, so I'm going to back down and take the lesser movie role.
Yeah, and you can still get points if you fold in that game. It's really
exactly.
And it plays 5 and 6 wonderfully well.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it really shines at the higher player count.
Yeah, we played it. I think we played it at 4. We played it 3, 4, 5. We haven't played it at 6, but I've enjoyed it every time at 5 and 3 most of the time.
Yeah, it's definitely better. The higher player counts. We did tournaments with 6-player tournaments at Gen Con and had a lot of fun with it. But one of the other things I love about that game is the artwork by Terry Wolfinger.
Yes.
So
oh man, the artwork.
We brought most of the artists that we've worked with so far came from the horror industry and hadn't worked in gaming before. So I'm really excited to get them some new fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My number 4, if we're going party game, I've got to get one that plays up to 8, and I'm going to bring Medium from a good friend of the show, Mr. Nathan Thornton. His first game?
First game,
I believe, yeah. So Medium is a great little mind-reading party game. And I think it's 8, right? Yeah, it plays up to 8.
Yep.
Highly recommend this one. Storm Chaser games.
And just throwing it out there, if you have something to represent tokens, you could take multiple decks and have 8 people playing there, 8 people playing over here.
Yeah.
You play 16 people in 2 different spots if you wanted. You just got to have a way to calculate points. But
I like it.
We're having a Halloween party this coming weekend, and that's going to be at the party.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And number 5.
So I tried not to make this list all of our games, but I would definitely choose Halloween just because everyone here at the office loves playing it, and we can get that feeling of dread here at the office in a conference table when you don't know where Michael is, and you hope he's not next to you, and you can't communicate what cards you've drawn because Michael's sitting right there, and he's going to hear you, and then he pops up and stabs your buddy in the neck, and it's just so much.
Yes,
perfect. I love it.
This was my number 5 game. Halloween is. So yes, Isaac, you know my love for this movie.
It's your third favorite franchise ever.
I love Halloween so much, and so it is. To have a game that's really good, and like kind of a fan. I don't know. There's a lot of fan service in this box. I really like it. I like the art style more than when I saw pictures of it. I say that in my review that published today that I was not a fan of the original 70s baseball card style cards. But when I actually got them out of the box, I was like, no, I like this. This is the right decision. I was very surprised that I flipped on that. But Halloween is so good. I taught my sister-in-law how to be Michael Myers this weekend, and she stalked us around the board. The terror of going out a window and knowing that she's behind me because I knew what she was thinking, and then telling my nephew to come up behind me and look at her, and her having to reveal herself. What? It was so good.
We literally fight over who gets to play Michael.
It's so good, and you've got to switch it up. You've got to make them guess where you are. Oh,
my number 5 is my most played game this last week at home at game night. That's Ghost Love Candy 2.
Yes.
Danny Devine loved it when it was part of the Steve Jackson Games setup. I used to do demo stuff. It's kind of one of the first things I did was join their demo team. And then when Chad got a hold of this and they reworked this so many new characters and the artwork on these kids and the inside jokes and the banana kid from Arrested Development is my favorite.
Yes.
There's just so much good in this box. It is a family friendly 2 to 6 players. This has been like a play after dinner for us the last few nights. Just my wife and son and I, and it's late, it's fun, it's silly. I will always be a shill for 25th Century. We are well aware of this, but this game is super, super good for this time of year for light family fun. Highly recommend it.
That's right.
I gotta say, I love your list, Isaac. I think probably the guests that go to your party would have the most fun.
Hank says Dead of Winter, Horrified, Betrayal at the House on the Hill, Ghost Love Candy 2, Deception. We've got a top 10. Justin is doing it.
Justin's rolling it.
Yeah, just going to cover up all our faces. Haunted Mansion, Call of the Spirits, Court of the Dead, Horrified, Abomination, Bloodborne, the board game, Scream, the game, Cthulhu, Death May Die, My Father's Work, yes, Mysterium, and City of Horror. I got to look up City of Horror. I don't know anything about it.
So. I don't know that one. Awesome.
So, and Justin Gibbons is ordering Halloween as we speak.
There we go. So, thank you.
Get that order in, man.
We like to end the show with what have you most recently been playing? So what's hitting your table? What are you enjoying other than the games we've just talked about?
So, I mean, as a publisher, you tend to drink your own bathwater a lot, right?
Why couldn't we say Kool-Aid?
between testing and demos, you're doing a lot of your own. But I am in a weekly game group. And we play games. Ones that tend to come up again and again in the past couple of years have been Blood Rage. We love Eric's game. We love 51st State, and That one's good. A lot of fun. We go back to The Godfather a lot. We've been playing 10 Penny Parks lately.
Oh, yeah.
10 Penny Parks is good.
It's a fun game, and we're good friends with the folks over there. And then, then we play some staples too, we'll play Ticket to Ride. I love the European version. We'll play Dominion when we only got a little bit of time.
Nice.
Here at the office, sometimes just for a break with Chris, we'll bust out Ascension, Keyforge, or Shards of Infinity, and just have a nice little break. Isaac, you're killing me.
I know. Really, people are going to watch this episode and they're going to be like, "I'm just watching for Isaac. I want to see what he's doing with the pumpkins." Like,
I don't know what you're talking
about.
I'm also in a weekly 5e campaign, and it's a huge hack and slash affair. And if you want, I could spend the next 24 minutes describing my character.
There we go.
Thunderworks. Yep.
So,
good stuff.
I have been playing. I tried playing The Hunt with my son the other night. We got interrupted, but I really enjoy it. Little cat and mouse game. It's meatier than you might think for such a small box. This one's from Salt and Pepper Games. I'm really interested in trying to play that with Erin when she gets feeling well. She's a little under the weather today. And then Sea Salt and Paper. Sea Salt and Paper is very clever card game, and it plays just as good at 2 as it does at 4, which is surprising, and that's why it's hit the table like 20 times.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love that. So upcoming Kickstarter from my friend David Bach is Rocket Ranchers. He's been talking about this one a little bit online. It's got some crazy artwork in here of different cats. You're herding cats in space. Nice. So it's kind of a grid layout set collection of cards. It's light, it's family friendly. It's a perfect light game for us in the house. And we've been playing a lot of Keep It 100 that you talked about last show. We really enjoyed. And from our friends over at Skybound, they sent me this guy. And it's actually, I don't know if you ended up getting this, Pirate Tales.
No, but I played it. It's good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very light. It's very similar to Colorado. Yeah, and you're picking up different sets of nuts. You're burying some. You're hoping to find the ones that are face down in the right spots. There's this mechanic with like putting cards face down and then going like, oh crap, where was the one I put down?
You gotta remember.
Yeah, and it plays that really well.
That's cool. That's awesome. Very cool. Joe, thank you so much for celebrating Halloween with us on our Halloween spectacular. Where can people find you online?
It was my great pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. This was fun. You can find us at trickortreatstudios.com and check out all 1,200 of our products, or you can navigate on the left side by product category and go to tabletop games and puzzles, and you'll find us there. Get a copy of Halloween and get some Halloween candles.
I feel like Ryan's going soap and candle shopping here.
I'm going soap and candle shopping. When I shut this thing down, I'm going soap and candle shopping.
I love it. I love
it. Anyway, One Board Family. You can find us all over the place at One Board Family. You can go to oneboardfamily.com if you want a full review of the Halloween board game, which published today. And then we'll have a preview for a game called Wondrous Creatures, which has nothing to do with Halloween, but is an incredibly cute game about collecting weird monsters. If you like Pokemon style, you got to catch all these creatures and find synergies. Very cool game hitting Kickstarter tomorrow from Bad Comic Games.
Very cool. Game with Sidekicks. You can find us anywhere at Gaming with Sidekicks on Instagram, on the X, on Facebook, and especially on TikTok. And as soon as I'm done and Ryan's shopping, I'm going to be shooting a video to give away. We've got some great promo tiles from Flamecraft, from the original publisher of Flamecraft. These are they're rare medium. They're witch dragon tiles. They're only being given out to content creators to give away on socials and whatnot. So we're giving this away on TikTok, and I got like 10 of them to give away. So be doing that soon.
Very cool.
Awesome. Joe. Thanks to everyone, including the Cowboys fan. Appreciate it.
The one Cowboys fan.
Just Justin.
The one.
One guy.
Yeah. So, oh, and a reminder, I'd forgotten about this. You can find Ryan on Pinterest for all your soap candles
that's right.
and potpourri needs.
66 Ryan
Oh,
at candle.potpourri.
jeez. You guys are terrible. So anyway, Joe, we hope you have a happy Halloween, and we'll catch you next time, okay?
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Thank you.